353. I started with one. Okay. So chapter, third canto, fifth chapter. Vidura is approaching Maitri. Nice canto. Vidura approaches Maitri. So Vidura is perfect in his devotional service. He reached Ganga, where he met Maitri Rishi. Very gentle in his behavior, he inquired from Maitri. So everyone is engaged in this fruitive activity to attain happiness, but they are not finding any happiness. Neither they are satisfied also, nor their distress is mitigated. On the contrary, one is only aggravated by such activities. So where to find the real happiness? That is the question asked. And the third verse now. Janasya Krishna Vimukhasya Deva Dasha Dharmaशीलस्य सुदुःखितस्य अनुग्रहायेह चरन्ति नूनं भूतानि भव्यानि जनार्दनस्य. Janasya, common person, Krishna, from the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Vimukhasya, of the one who has turned his face against the Lord, Daivat, by the influence of external energy, Adharma, Shilasya, of one who is engaged in irreligion, Sudukhitasya, of one who is always unhappy, Anugrahaya, due to being compassionate towards them, Iha, in this world, Charanti, wander, Nunam, certainly, Bhutani, persons, Bhavyani, great philanthropic souls, Janardanasya, of the Supreme Personality of God. So, my Lord, great philanthropic souls, they travel on the earth on behalf of the Supreme Lord to show compassion to the fallen souls who are averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. Srila Prabhupada is telling about himself, isn't it, in these words? Srila Prabhupada is mentioned here. Ramanacharya is mentioned here. Great Acharyas are mentioned here. They travel around the world. They travel on this earth. It need not be that they have to go always outside only. They travel on the earth. Why they are traveling? So that they can benefit common person. They travel on behalf of Lord. They are marketing agents of Lord. And in this way, those who are averse to be subordinate to Lord, they go and guide them. Our original position is we should be subservient to Lord. That is our natural constitutional position, to be obedient to Lord. This is how Prabhupada started. But because of the misdeeds, people don't want to obey to the Lord. They just want to do what it comes in their mind. And what they are experiencing, punascharvita charvananam, they are experiencing all only miseries. Just now we did the words, matirna krishna parakasatova, mitho vibhadyeta grahavatana, adanta gobir vishatam tamisram, punascharvita charvananam. They always experience misery only. Even somebody counsels them, even they want to learn also, they cannot, because their mind is not with Krishna. That is why they are suffering. They suffer more. They go on suffering. But then, to show compassion, great souls, they travel. Out of them, some few listen. They few listen to them, and in this way, they follow them and they pick up devotional service. Okay, Aruna, you are not in light. You are no light today.
No par Mataji. Heavy rain since afternoon.
Yeah.
Light has come. Kya baat hai? Text 3. Janasya krishnadvimukhasya दैवादधर्मशीलस्य सुदुःखितस्य अनुग्रहायेह चरन्ति नूनं bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. Translation: O my God, great philanthropic souls travel on the earth on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to show compassion to the fallen souls who are averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. To be obedient to the wishes of the Supreme Lord is a natural position of every living entity, but due only to past misdeeds, a living being becomes averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord and suffers all the miseries of the material existence. No one has anything to do but render devotional service to the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. Therefore, any activity other than transcendental loving service to the Lord is more or less a rebellious action against the Supreme Will. All fruitive activity, empirical philosophy, and mysticism are more or less against the sense of subordination to the Lord, and any living entity engaged in such rebellious activity is more or less condemned by the laws of material nature, which work under the subordination of the Lord. Great unalloyed devotees of the Lord are compassionate towards the fallen, and therefore they travel all over the world with the mission of bringing souls back to Godhead, back to home. Such pure devotees of the Lord carry the message of Godhead in order to deliver the fallen souls, and therefore the common man who is bewildered by the influence of the external energy of the Lord should avail himself of their association. Hare Krishna.
You should avoid. Ganga flows, what to do? When Ganga flows, go and drink it. Go and drink Ganga. The same way, in great souls, they come to deliver us. We should take their association. Now, Vidura is asking, तत्साधुवर्यादीशवरीमस्संनः सम्राधितो भगवान् येन पुंसां हृदि स्थितो यच्छति भक्तिपूते ज्ञानं स तत्त्वादिगमं पुराणं तत् therefore Sadhuvarya, O great one amongst the saints. Adisha, please instruct. Adisha. Adisha. Varima, the path. Sham, auspicious. Nah, for us. Samradhita, being perfectly served. Bhagavan, the personality of God. Yena, by which. Pumsam, of the living entity. Hridisthita, residing in the heart. Yachati, awards. Bhakti Pute, unto the unalloyed devotee. Jnanam, knowledge. Saha, that. Tattva, truth. Adigamam, by which one learns. Puranam, authorized oath. Therefore, O great sage, please instruct me. Please give me instruction on the transcendental devotional service of the Lord, so that he who is situated in the heart of everyone can be pleased to impart from within knowledge of the absolute truth in terms of the ancient Vedic principles delivered only to those who are purified by the process of devotional service. So you are blessed because you have got this knowledge. Please impart this to me so that he will learn and he can impart it to others. And how is it imparted? By the mercy of Krishna. It is Krishna who is imparting. It is Krishna who gives the knowledge. Tesham satatiptanam vachatam priti purukam tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mamupaya. He is pleased to impart from within. So when they say Guru is without, one within. Without means what? He is seen outside, but within is Krishna who is situated in the heart. From the heart is actually Krishna who speaks. So that is how he says, please give me the instruction. Okay. Dhanila Mataji, you cannot but stop joining the class. Okay, read. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I was not able to, Mataji. Now I'm able to. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dhanyavad. तत्साधुवरया दिशवर्तमाशमनः सम्राधितो भगवान् येन पुंसां हृदि स्थितो यच्छति भक्तिपूते ज्ञानं सतत्वाधिगममं पुराणम्. Therefore, O great sage, please give me instruction on the transcendental devotional service of the Lord, so that he who is situated in the heart of everyone can be pleased to impart from within knowledge of the absolute truth in terms of the ancient Vedic principles delivered only to those who are purified by the process of devotional service. Purport. As already explained in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the absolute truth is realized in three different phases, although they are one and the same in terms of the knower's capacity to understand. The most capable transcendentalist is the pure devotee of the Lord, who is without any tinge of fruitive actions or philosophical speculation. By devotional service only does one's heart become completely purified from all material coverings like karma, jnana, and yoga. Only in such a purified stage does the Lord, who is seated in everyone's heart with the individual soul, give instruction so that the devotee can reach the ultimate destination of going back home, back to Godhead. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 10.10. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam. They have left here. Bhajatam. Only when the Lord is satisfied with the devotional service of the devotee does he impart knowledge, as he did for Arjun and Uddhav. The Gyanis, Yogis, and Karmis cannot expect this direct cooperation of the Lord. They are not able to satisfy the Lord by transcendental loving service, nor do they believe in such service to the Lord. The bhakti process, as performed under the regulatory principles of Vedic bhakti or devotional service, following the prescribed rules and regulations, is defined by the revealed scriptures and confirmed by great acharyas. This practice can help the neophyte devotee to rise to the stage of raga bhakti, in which the Lord responds from within as the Chaitya Guru or the spiritual master as super consciousness. All transcendentalists, other than devotees, make no distinction between the individual soul and the super soul because they miscalculate the super consciousness at the individual consciousness to be one and the same. Such miscalculation by the non devotees makes them unfit to receive any direction from within, and therefore they are bereft of the direct cooperation of the Lord. After many, many births, when such a non dualist comes to sense that the Lord is worshipable and the devotee is simultaneously one with and different from the Lord, then only can he surrender unto the Lord, Vasudev. Pure devotional service begins from that point. The process of understanding the absolute truth adopted by the misguided non dualist is very difficult, whereas the devotee's way of understanding the absolute truth comes directly from the Lord, who is pleased by devotional service. On behalf of many neophyte devotees, Vidura, at the very first instance, inquired from Maitreya about the path of devotional service by which the Lord, who is seated within the heart, can be pleased. Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Yeah, shocked to hear this. Tesham satata. I just took it is there in the purport. Wow. Is that this is true? Every word is person. You serve Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam will reveal, Bhagavatam will teach. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Okay. Karoti karmani kurta avataro, yanyatma tantro, Bhagavan strayadisha, yatha sarjagra, idam nidiha, sanstapya vrittim, jagato vidatte. So karoti does them karmani, transcendental activities, kruta, by accepting. Avatara, incarnations, yani, all those. Atmatantra, self-independent. Bhagavan, the personality of God. Three Adhishaha, the Lord of the three worlds, Yatha, as much as. Sasarja, created today at first. Idam, this cosmic manifestation. Niriha, although desirous, samsthapya, by establishing Vritim, means of livelihood, Jagata, of the universes. Vidatte, as he regulates. O great sage, kindly narrate how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is independent, desireless Lord of the three worlds and the controller of all energies, accepts incarnation, creates the cosmic manifestation with perfectly arranged regulative principles for its maintenance. How is he doing all this? He doesn't have any desire. Why is he doing now? That is also the question. He has no desire. Still, he creates a perfect universe. with perfect regulatory principles also for its maintenance. Everything, you just see, everything is just designed so nicely. Fertility, for the earth form is given. Everything is so designed so nicely. And one jiva is another jiva's ahara. Jivo jivasya jivan. Everything has been perfectly designed. For everyone's maintenance, Krishna has provided everything. Once I was standing in the signal, I saw one bird came directly and took one insect. I was just thinking from far, from the sky, how that bird knew there is an insect in this place. Just how the intelligence Krishna is giving. We think only humans are intelligent, but animals are more intelligent. The day I saw two birds. I always watch this. I was giving class, but my whole attention was on the two birds. One bird is picking up dry grass. Another bird went to pick up some wet grass. The other bird is telling something. Then he did not pick up the wet grass because they have to build a nest. And for the nest, what is required is dry grass, not the wet grass. Now just see how intelligence and how the communication and this bird goes up. I was what Bhagavad Gita class I was giving or what I was looking. I was looking at this. I was thinking how Krishna is giving such intelligence. They know there is a dry grass over there. So perfect arrangement. Everyone's house is maintained. We think so much. That is our problem. Birds, all the animals actually completely dependent on love, except for the humans. Everybody is completely dependent on love. That is why acharyas they don't meet the animals; they meet the humans, so that intelligence what has been given, they can start accepting Krishna. That we are subordinate to Lord, which our animals don't have that intelligence, but human have intelligence. That is why the great souls they wander, and those who avail this fortune, they go back to God. Okay. So how the incarnation happens, how this creation happens. Bade Prabhu, can you read? Or Bindu Mataji, you read. Bindu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah. Text 5. Karoti karmani कृतावतारो यान्यात्मतन्त्रो भगवांस्त्रधीशः यथा ससर्जाग्र इदं निरीह संस्थाप्य वृत्तिं जगतो विधते. Translation. O great sage, kindly narrate how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the independent, desireless Lord of the three worlds and the controller of all energies, accepts incarnations and creates the cosmic manifestation with perfectly arranged regulative principles for its maintenance. Purport. Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, from whom the three creative incarnations, namely the Purusha avatars, Karna, Karnar, Karnar Navasya Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and
What,
Shirodakshaya.
what did you read now?
Karna,
Ah,
Karnar Navashay,
Vashayi. Vashayi.
Karnar Navashay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Shirodakshaya Vishnu expand. The whole material creation is conducted by the three Purushas in successive stages under the external energy of the Lord, and thus material nature is controlled by him. Thinking material nature to be independent is like seeking milk from the nipple like bags on the neck of a goat. The Lord is independent and desireless. He does not create the material world for his own satisfaction, as we create our household affairs to fulfill our material desires. Actually, the material world is created for the illusionary enjoyment of the conditioned souls who have been against the transcendental service of the Lord
since time immemorial. But the material universes are full in themselves. There is no scarcity for maintenance in the material world. Because of their poor fund of knowledge, the materialistic are disturbed when there is an apparent increase of population on the earth. Whenever there is a living being on the earth, however, his subsistence is immediately arranged by the Lord. The other species of living entities who far outnumber human society are never disturbed for maintenance. They are never seen dying of starvation. It is only human society that is disturbed about the food situation, and to cover up the real fact of administrative mismanagement takes shelter in the plea that the population is excessively increasing. If there is any scarcity in the world, it is the scarcity of God consciousness. Otherwise, by the grace of Lord, there is no scarcity of anything. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Only humans require counseling. Everything is available for everyone. What is scarce is God consciousness. यथा पुनः स्वे इदं निवेश्य चेते गुहायां सन्निवृत्तवृत्तिः योगेश्वराधीश्वरे प्रयेतत् अनुप्रविष्टो बहुधा यथासीत्. Yatha as much as Punaha again, Sve in his K form of space, Virata Rupa. Idam this, Nivesha entering into, Shete lies down, Guhayam within the universe, Saha, he the personality of Godhead. Nivrutta without endeavor, Muktihi, means of livelihood, Yoga Ishvara, the master of all mystic powers, Adishvara, proprietor of everything, Eka, one without a second, Etat, this Anupravishtaha, entering afterwards, Bahuda, by innumerable, Yatha as much as Asi. He lies down on his own heart, spread in the form of the sky, and thus placing the whole creation in that space, he expands himself into many living entities, which are manifested as different spaces of life. He does not have to endeavor for his maintenance, because he is the master of all mystic powers and the proprietor of everything. Thus, he is distinct from the living entities. Thus, Virat Rupa of Krishna has been discussed here. How he expands different forms. He is not bothered about his maintenance because he is the master of maintaining everyone. And in this way, the difference between the living entity and Supreme Lord has been given. Okay, Sarvam Khalidam Brahman. There is a quotation which Srila Prabhupada has given. Everything is actually Brahman. Everything is Brahman. In that Jada Brahman comes, Jiva Brahman comes. But then, when we say Brahman, it means energy of Lord. Everything is nothing but energy of Arunarani.
Hare Krishna. Text 6. Yata punasve idam niveshya shete guhayam sa nivritta vrittihi yogeshwaradishwaraye kayeta danu pravishto bahuda yathasit. Translation. He lies down on his own heart, spread in the form of the sky, and thus, placing the whole creation in that space, he expands himself into many living entities which are manifested as different species of life. He does not have to endeavor for his maintenance because he is the master of all mystic powers and the proprietor of everything. Thus, he is distinct from the living entities. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The questions regarding creation, maintenance, and destruction, which are mentioned in many parts of the Srimad Bhagavatam, are in relation to different millenniums, kalpas. and therefore they are differently described by different authorities when questioned by different students. There is no difference regarding the creative principles and the Lord's control over them, yet there are some differences in the minute details because of different kalpas. The gigantic sky is the material body of the Lord, called the Virat Rupa, and all material creations are resting on the sky or on the heart of the Lord. Therefore, beginning from the sky, the first material manifestation to the gross vision down to the earth, everything is called Brahman. Sarvam Khalvedam Brahman. There is nothing but the Lord, and He is one without a second. The living entities are the superior energies, whereas matter is the inferior energy, and the combination of these energies brings about the manifestation of this material world, which is in the heart of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
So combination of these energies, that is Jada Brahman, Jiva Brahman, matter, spirits, that is how the manifestation happens. Jiva Shakti, Kala Shakti, everything enters into Pradhan and different forms are created. And according to their karmas, in different places, they are situated. Because now we are speaking the subject matter Sarga, how this creation is. Third canto is nothing but the talk about Sarga, creation, first subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. क्रीडन् विधत्ते द्विजगोऽसुराणां क्षेमाय कर्माण्यवतारभेदैः मनो न तृप्यत्यपि शृण्वतां नः सुश्लोकमहुलेश्चरितामृतानि क्रीडन्. This is a krida for Lord. Creation is nothing but manifesting pastime. Vidhatte, he performs Dvija, twice born, Go, Cow, Suranam of the demigod, Shemaya, welfare, Karmani, transcendental activities, Avatara, incarnations, Veda, he differently, Manaha, mind, none ever, Tukyati, satisfies, Api in spite of Shruvatam, continuously hearing the hour, Shushlokaha, auspicious, Maulehe, of the Lord Charita, characteristics, Amritani, undying. You may narrate also about the auspicious characteristics of the Lord in his different incarnations for the welfare of twice born, his brahmanas, the cows, demigods. Our minds are never satisfied completely, although we continuously hear of his transcendental. You go on speaking, you go on, you tell again and again. We want to hear again and again. Our mind is not satisfied. Satisfaction in devotional service is, understand, that is actually going back, going low in devotional service, what we call degrading. Degradation of devotional service means satisfaction devotional service. Dissatisfaction devotional service is progress in devotional service. The more we are dissatisfied, the more we can progress. The moment we say, I know everything, on. Krishna says, go on knowing everything. Why should he reveal them? Okay.
क्रीडान् विद्धते द्विजगोऽसुराणां क्षेमाय कर्माणि अवतारभेदै मनो न तृप्यति अपि शृण्वतां नः शुश्लोकमौलिश्चरितामृतानि. Translation: You may narrate also about the auspicious characteristics of the Lord in his different incarnations for the welfare of the twice born, the cows, and the demigods. Our minds are never satisfied completely, although we continuously hear of his transcendental activities. The Lord appears in this universe in different incarnations like Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, and Narsimha, and he manifests his different transcendental activities for the welfare of the twice born, the cows, and the demigods. The Lord is directly concerned with the twice born or civilized men. A civilized man is one who has taken his birth twice. A living entity takes birth in this mundane world due to the union of male and female. A human being is born due to union of the father and mother, but a civilized human being has another birth by contact with a spiritual master who becomes the actual father. The father and mother of the material body are so only in one birth, and in the next birth, the father and the mother may be a different couple. But the bona fide spiritual master, as the representative of the Lord, is the eternal father, because the spiritual master has the responsibility to lead to lead the disciple to spiritual salvation or the ultimate goal of life. Therefore, a civilized man must be twice born, otherwise, he is no more than the lower animals. The cow is the most important animal for developing the human body to perfection. The body can be maintained by any kind of foodstuff, but cow's milk is particularly essential for developing the finer tissues of the human brain so that one can understand the intricacies of transcendental knowledge. A civilized man is expected to live on foodstuffs comprising fruits, vegetables, grains, sugar, and milk. The bull helps in the agricultural process of producing grain, etc. And thus, in one sense, the bull is the father of humankind, whereas the cow is the mother, for she supplies milk to human society. A civilized man is therefore expected to give all protection to the bulls and cows. The demigods or the living entities who live in the higher planets are far superior to human beings. Since they have better arrangements for living conditions, they live far more luxuriously than human beings. Yet they are all devotees of the Lord. The Lord incarnates in different forms, such as those of a fish, a tortoise, a hog, and a combined lion and man, and just to give protection to civilized men. The cow and the demigods, who are directly responsible for the regulative life of progressive self realization. The whole system of the material creation is planned so that the conditioned souls may have the opportunity for self realization. One who takes advantage of such an arrangement is called a demigod or civilized man. The cow is meant to help maintain such a high standard of living. The Lord's pastimes for the protection of the twice born civilized men, the cows, and the demigods are all transcendental. A human being is inclined to hear good narrations and stories, and therefore there are so many books, magazines, and newspapers on the market to satisfy the interests of the developed soul. But the pleasure in such literature, after it is read once, becomes stale, and people do not take any interest in reading such literature repeatedly. In fact, newspapers are read for less than an hour and then thrown in the dustbins as rubbish. The case is similar with all other mundane literatures. But the beauty of transcendental literatures like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam is that they never become old. They have been read in the world by civilized man for the last 5,000 years, and they never become old. They are ever fresh to the learned scholars and devotees. And even by daily repetition of the verses of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, there is no satiation for devotees like Vidura. Vidura might have heard the pastimes of the Lord many, many times before he met Maitreya, but still he wanted the same narrations to be repeated because he was never satiated by hearing them. That is the transcendental nature of the Lord's glorious pastimes. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Navanavarasadhamni Uptitumasi, that is what Yamunacharya speaks. Yedavadhi Mama Krishna Padaravindayo, let my mind be always absorbed in Krishna. We read newspapers and all, we are bored. You just see even that war, now to see again, like better we don't want. How many times the same. But you see, when you read Bhagavad, when you read Bhagavad Gita again and again, it gives a different pleasure. Yai sattva अधिलोकनाथो लोकान् नरोकान् सह सह लोकपालान् अचिक्लुरोपद्यत् पदत्र हि सर्वसत्त्व निकाय भेदोऽधिकृत प्रतीकः यथा by whom Tattva truth, Vedai by differentiation, Adhilokanatha the king of the kings, Lokan, planets. Lokan, again, planets of the lower region, Saha along with Lokapala, respective kings, Achiklapat planned, Yatra wherein he certainly serve all Sattva, existence, Nikaya, living entities, Veda, difference, Adhikritaha, occupied, Praditaha, its what appears. The Supreme King of all kings has created different planets and the places of habitation where living entities are situated in terms of modes of nature and work, and he has created the different kings and rulers. So Lord Krishna, he is the king of all kings, that is how Prabhupada starts. He has created everything. According to the modes of nature, they are situated. Okay.
I didn't hear. Mataji told me.
Yes, yes,
Hare
read it.
Krishna. Text 8. यैस्तत्त्वभेदैरतिलोकनाथो लोकान् लोकान् सह लोकपालान् अचीक्लपत्यत्र हि सर्वसत्त्व निकाय भेदोऽधिकृत प्रतीतः. Translation: The Supreme King of all kings has created different planets and places of habitation where living entities are situated in terms of the modes of nature and work, and he has created their different kings and rulers. Purport: Lord Krishna is the chief king of all kings, and he has created different planets for all kinds of living entities. Even on this planet, there are different places for inhabitation by different types of men. There are places like deserts, icelands, and valleys in the mountainous countries. In each of them, there are different kinds of men born of different modes of nature according to their past deeds. There are people in the Arabian deserts and in the valleys of the Himalayan mountains, and the inhabitants of these two places differ from one another, just as the inhabitants of Iceland also differ from them. Similarly, there are also different planets. The planets below the Earth, down to the Patala planet, are full of various kinds of living beings. No planet is vacant, as wrongly imagined by the modern so called scientists. In Bhagavad Gita, we find it said by the Lord that the living entities are sarvagata or present in every sphere of life. So, there is no doubt that on other planets there are also inhabitants like us, sometimes with greater intelligence and greater opulence. The living conditions for those of greater intelligence are more luxurious than on this earth. There are also planets where no sunlight reaches, and there are living entities who must live there due to their past deeds. All such plans for living conditions are made by the Supreme Lord, and Vidura requested Maitreya to describe this for the sake of further enlightenment. Hare Krishna.
येन प्रजानामृतात्मकर्म मुतात्मकर्म रूपाभिधानां च भिदा विदत्तः दत्त नारायणो विश्वसृगात्मयोनि सर्गसि सुग विश्वसर्ग तरेतश्च नो वर्णय विप्रवर्य येन by which Prajanam of those who are born Uta as also Atma Karma, destined engagement, Rupa, form and feature, Abhidhanam, endeavors, also Vidam, differentiation, Vidatta, dispersed, Narayana, Supreme Personality of God, Vishwasrug, the creator of the universe, Atmayonihi, self-sufficient, Etat, all those which are also learned to us, Varnai, describe Vipravarya, chief among the Brahmanas. O chief among the Brahmanas, please also describe how Narayana, the creator of the universe, why Krishna represents Narayana, Narayana, the place where all reside in his tongue. Then they are released. The creator of the universe, the self-sufficient Lord, has differently created the natures, activities, forms, features, names of the different things. How is this happening? So many living entities, so many forms, so many types of nature, so many combinations. It's just three modes of material nature, but how it is spread in different combinations, and because of that, difference in activities are also there. Different in nature is also there. How such combination is done by God? Even though it is done, but so many living entities are created. How is it? Okay. Bindu, read. This will be the last verse for today.
Text 9. येन प्रजानां हुत आत्मकर्म रूपाभिधानां च विदां व्यदत्त नारायणो विसर्ग आत्मयोनिर् एतच्च नो वर्णय विप्रवर्य. Translation. O chief amongst the Brahmanas, please also describe how Narayana, the creator of the universe and the self-sufficient Lord, has differently created the natures, activities, forms, features, and names of the different living creatures. Purport. Every living being is under the plan of his natural inclinations in terms of the modes of material nature. His work is manifested in terms of the nature of the three modes. His form and bodily features are designed according to his work, and his name is designated according to his bodily features. For example, the higher classes of men are white, Shukla, and the lower classes of men are black. This division of white and black is in terms of the one's white and black duties of life. Pious acts lead one to take birth in a good and highly placed family, to become rich, to become learned, and to acquire beautiful bodily features. Impious acts lead one to become poor by parentage, to be always in want, to become a fool or illiterate, and to acquire ugly bodily features. Vidura requested Maitreya to explain these differences between all the living creatures made by Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Stop.
Mataji, I had two. Can I ask Mataji?
Yes. Somebody is going to come. That is
Mataji, I have two questions. One is in 3.5.8, where it is clearly mentioned that there is life everywhere, Sarvagata. But then when we read the pastimes of Dhruv Maharaj, there I think in the purport, Prabhupada says maybe that Loka was lying unoccupied, so Lord gave. Means I don't remember the wordings exactly, but I think it meant something like that.
Lord can
So
create. Yes.
means I didn't get you, Mataji.
Creation goes on. Lord can create for through Maharaj another universe. It has been created
It
by
was
Lord.
freshly created, Mataji. It was
हाँ,
freshly created for him.
not that it was unoccupied, so आप ये घर ले लो. No. It was specially created by Lord, and that universe was equivalent to Lord's universe. That is why when
And
all devastation happens, it is through Loka which is going to remain.
hmm.
Lord is present in that Loka. Lord has clearly said that I will be present with you.
And then there's one more Mataji. I think here. Hmm. 3.5.4, where in the first line it is mentioned heart of the sky, the Lord places in means. I'm not able to understand that part.
That's why Vishwarupa, no? Sky is compared to the heart. It's just a
Yes.
Vishwarupa darshan. The sky is compared to the heart. This way.
Why
Like,
only sky? Why only sky, Mataji?
oh, it is unlimited. Sky is unlimited.
Okay.
For us, sky is unlimited. But for Lord, sky is not unlimited. Lord himself is unlimited. But how are we going to understand that he is unlimited? When we see the sky, there is no end to it. It's so huge for us. So instead, how we'll say it is huge? Because comparison is done with such a thing which at least we can understand why it is so huge. So Lord is so huge. So magnanimity of Lord has been spoken by comparing that Lord is lying like a sky. So Karanadakshay Vishnu, how he lies down the causal ocean and creates everything. That's why Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Karanadakshay Vishnu, all is spoken. Three Vishnus.
Then
And now
why
Lord.
specifically heart also, Mataji?
And I wonderful simile comparison, heart with the sky. And the
So
simile,
difficult to understand the analogies also
it is a
sometimes.
poetic way. It's a poetic way to say. It's a poetic way to say. The heart of the sky, the
Like
unlimited.
generally,
The unlimited
generally in
has
our sorry.
unlimited has been limited. He is unlimited. Heart is limited. The unlimited is the limited and appears to be limited by manifesting universes. It seems that he is limited. He's because avatar, he's appearing. That unlimited is limited because heart is limited and sky is unlimited. So within that sky there is a heart. So that person who is unlimited appears in the form of various incarnations. This is all a
Here
poetic
it,
way of comparison.
here it reads as he lies down on his own heart, spread
On
in the form of the sky, and thus placing the
spread
whole
in the form of
creation
the
in
sky.
that space.
The body is spread in the form of the sky. He is appearing in his own heart. So the material world is compared to a sky. He is appearing in that heart of his own form. So Lord says, I am there inside, at the same time I am not there. So it's very difficult to understand. These are all aspects where that comparison is given. He's appearing in his own heart. He's lying down in his own heart, in his own creation. You can say his own creation. At the same time, he's not there in the creation.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mata.
Yes, Roshi.
Hare Krishna.
You're asking something, Bade Prabhu?